Good morning. You are listening to Superhuman Channel Talk Radio. I'm your host, Todd Smith, aka Mass Avenger. Hey, I just want to share this little broadcast with you all this morning. Today, I want to share with you all about cinematic gameplay. Let me repeat it again, cinematic gameplay. And what I want to share with you all this morning, and this is not about being fanboys or nothing like that. This is talking about the Xbox One versus the PS4 when it come down to cinematic gameplay. And I'm gonna put one of the games out there, and I'm gonna state my case about it. I just recently saw Uncharted, 1, Uncharted 2, Uncharted 3, cinematic on YouTube. And like I share on this channel, that we share your news feed. And what I had learned, watching these cinematics, and even when I had Uncharted, on the PS3 platform, I always saw the gameplay blending in with the cinematic. You actually see this, in God of War 3. You see it in God of War Ascension, if I had pronounced it right. And then you see it in Ratchet and Clank, series on the PS3. You always see the cinematic, blend in with the gameplay. Now, I'm going to talk about, a little bit about the third-party developers always doing comparing, and it's maybe not the third party, it's just the people like from Game Trailer and all the other news sources all online that share, which one look better, always competing, when it come down to a third party game, they always competing game graphics. And what I see, I don't see no difference, because it's from the same company. How in the world they look different and it's from the same company, who developed the same games in that same house. So I don't see the difference. But one thing that's very appealing to me when I that's very appealing to me when I see the cinematic. For example, like when I saw Uncharted 3, cinematic. When you see Uncharted and, see Drake, and then you see Scully, on this underground cave, and they get shoot by one of the bad guys, by the head bad guy. And what happened is the bullet grazed, on Nathan Drake's arm. And then as they running through the gameplay, you still see that same gun wound, from the bullet that shocked Drake through the gameplay. Then when him and Scully had sat down and was communicating with each other, networking, what happened was you still see that same scar on his arm. You see all these same things that's going on in every gameplay. It seemed like when they got to Uncharted 1, you saw when it's evolved, when it went down to 2, and when it went down to 3. Me and my co-host was sharing the same info back and forth with one another, when we were talking about stuff like this. Now I'm going to, put Microsoft in it, because Microsoft, do some beautiful cinematics. Now I'm going to give the credit to its due. They do some beautiful cinematics, and especially when you see Halo, Halo 3, through the Halo series. But what make it different today, in 2015, and we moving on to, a couple of months to 2016, that and I guess it's just me, or it's just me just talking, when you don't see the cinematic tied in with the, gameplay of Halo 5. You just don't see it. And maybe I'm wrong, even with Gears. But, when it came down to the PS3 era, you actually seen that earlier. That you see the gameplay tied in with the cinematic. And man, that's what, really, hooked me on that. Because I remember when Sony had introduced, Killzone, 2. And they showed this, Killzone 2 for the PS3 platform. The cinematic was so gorgeous. But it would never look like it's tied in with the gameplay. It seemed like in the PS4 era, they actually can do that. Or if Naughty Dog, would have that, they would add, put the cinematic with it. Then what Guerrilla done. These is two different companies, but at the same time, they work in the house of Sony. But if Guerrilla was working with with Sucker Punch or work with Naughty Dog, they were able to pull that off. And that was in the PS3 era, that you saw that when you saw Killzone 3. But when you see when you see Uncharted, you actually see all that from the first one to the second one to the third one. You see that's in God of War 3, when you see Kratos' head, up front in the screen, but at the same time you saw his head, go back, and it, go along with the gameplay. And also when you see Ratchet and Clank doing the same thing, and even the Ratchet and Clank, the new Ratchet and Clank for the PS4, the same thing. The cinematic play goes with the gameplay. And that's what appealing to me. Like I said, if you're going to pay your money for a system, pay for what it's worth. Because my thing is this. If I'm going to buy a PS4 and something like that, I want to see the gameplay, the cinematic, just like my PS3, was tied in. My cinematic tied in with the gameplay, and Sony really pulled this off. Anybody that say different about it, let me know in the bottom of the comment and give me your thoughts about it. And I'm not saying like Xbox is a bad, like it's a terrible console. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying when it comes down to cinematic gameplay, cinematic, Sony have it nailed on this one. Even when you see Ascension, God of War Ascension, you see that same cinematic gameplay in the game. Now, I'm not saying everybody go out there and buy God of War and stuff like that, but I'm just talking about, I'm just giving you an idea of what I'm sharing, what I saw. And the reason why I love the PS4, over other consoles, just because of that. Then when you look at Uncharted again, when you look at the whole series, as Naughty Dog, progresses the game, even going to Uncharted 4, you see the characters Asian, they getting older. Like you see Scully from the first one, Uncharted going on to the third one, and you see his age. He just age. He just turned old. And then also, I don't know what's going on with Uncharted 4, but you see Drake looking old. You see Drake, with gray hair. And this is stuff that I, love to see. I love to see the cinematic. And also when you see the trailer Uncharted 4, you still see that same cinematic tied in with the gameplay. And I think that's more important that should be important to any gamer who owns a console. That you want to see the results and the benefits from it. I can't speak down on Microsoft's side, but Sony really got them beat in this one when it comes down to gameplay. So I'm not trying to get you fanboys out there mad. That's your money, and you can spend it on anything you want because you earn it. But at the same time, if I choose a weapon of choice in video games, it would be the PS4, because actually PS4 actually delivered what I'm sharing with you all. And that's really mind-blowing. Not only that Sony turn around and boost the graphics, but you see more romance storytelling. Even with Uncharted, you see more romance storytelling. It's just like you watching a movie, even when it's tied in with the gameplay. How good is that? So I had to share that with you all, man. And and I had to leave that comment with you all. But hey, if you want to learn more, man, and then you want to leave your opinion, that's what we do on Personal Talk Radio. Sorry, wrong channel. Superhuman channel. Superhuman channel. I'm trying to get this through. Superhuman channel, man. Leave your comments, man, on Superhuman channel Talk Radio, and that's what we talk about things. And then leave your comments, what you think about it. That's what we here for, to share your news feed. And man, I thank you all for your support. Thank you all for you tuning in, man. And hey, that leave your comment. Have a good day. Peace.